welcome, everybody, and thank you for joining us. Hello, Heather. I see you don't have your oxygen tube on. How you feeling?
I'm improved. I'm far from fine. Um, Everyone is just completely drained of energy, and the house is trashed. And I've told everyone when we get feeling better, we are sanitizing the entire house.
Yeah, I understand that.
But I'm to the point now where I'm it's like I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna do laundry, and I do one load of laundry, and I'm like, I will get it to the dryer tomorrow if I can't talk someone else, because the laundry room's down in the basement,
Right.
and going up and down the stairs, ridiculous.
Just pace yourself. Don't overdo it.
And
Just don't overdo it.
I got my inhalers. And
You don't have the round purple disc?
Yeah, I have had that one once. Living in Utah with the poor air quality, which I've complained about before. I've had asthma for like 15 years. If I left the Wasatch Front, my health would be greatly improved. And so Dwayne, was always, let's leave Utah. We figured if we sold our house, we do not have a fancy house. It's just envision a Ramblers of the 60s and 70s. It's just the shape of a shoebox, and there's nothing fancy about it. But because we live in Utah, we have about $100,000 equity, and we have owned the house for 4 years.
Oh, wow.
So Dwayne's like, let's sell the house, put the $100,000 into a cheaper house somewhere else, and have a house payment of $600 a month instead of $1,500 a month.
Yeah.
Because everybody here is house poor.
Yeah.
And
I think that's what it is like in our county of Wisconsin that we live in. I think that's how it is here too.
My son is on the other side of Salt Lake from us, and he had his house appraised, and his house is smaller than ours, and it appraised for $330,000.
Oh wow!
It was built in the middle 80s, and the furnace has never been upgraded, and so he wants to do that, and then his has metal framed windows still, and would like to get some new flooring, but things are so expensive.
Right. All right. So let's welcome some.
So I can cough.
Okay. So let's welcome some of our guests in the chat. We have B. Davy. Welcome. We have KK, Kathy's Corners. Hello. Welcome. We have Cheryl, Mama to Pokemon. I hope I got that right. I'm learning. Yep. I am learning.
You're doing better than I am.
We have my awesome co-host in chat as well. I'm so happy that you are feeling better. That's awesome. We have JC, Paper Plate Fan. Hey, so everybody knows, could you please keep JC and his family in your prayers? Got a lot going on, but if you could please just make sure that you guys keep them in your prayers, that would be great. God knows what their prayers are for. So thank you for being here, JC. And B. Davy says, hi, ladies. Oh, thank you, JC. Everyone make sure to tap, smack, or punch the thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe and ding the bell to click all so you can get those notifications. That's awesome. Well, thank you, everybody, for being here. I know Heather is still not up to par, and so we are going to last as long as she does. How's that sound?
When you see me coughing up a lung, you'll know that...
Well, we don't want to see you cough up a lung, but when you get tired, just let us know. So
yeah, this was my scheduled physical today, and I nearly made it a whole year without going to the doctor because I hadn't been sick. Probably because of everybody social distancing. Because but anyway, all that means for me is just updated my medication. And let's see, she had recommended that I take a baby aspirin. I think that, oh, so I don't get a blood clot. I don't know how long I'm supposed to take it for, though. But that was in
Uh-oh.
recovering from this. I haven't had baby aspirin since the 70s. Um, and what else? Um, oh, I'll give you a health report. My blood pressure is doing well enough that she recommended that I look into some blood pressure related supplements and then maybe I could get off of my blood pressure medication.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, also, there is a lady, a doctor here in Utah County, that does ketamine treatments, and so this my nurse practitioner gave me a recommendation, and then if I can get one from my nurse of psychiatry, perhaps the insurance will pay for me to do ketamine treatments, and I can cut back on some of my antipsychotic medications.
Isn't that a horse tranquilizer?
Yeah.
Oh, you might want to be careful with that.
Yeah, they do it like you go in and you hang out at the office, and it's I don't know, but exactly, but I can make an appointment to go talk to them, and because I figure I've been bipolar for 35 years, yeah, and I've taken every antidepressant, which I should have never taken, but they didn't know it was bipolar that I was dealing with. And that I've taken several antipsychotics, and I hate all of it.
Right.
So,
Hello, Pearl.
but yeah,
Welcome,
it's
welcome.
like $1,000 a treatment.
Oh,
Yeah. So
wow.
that's not something I can do out of pocket.
No, that's crazy wild. Um,
Hmm.
B. Davies said baby aspirin are great for blood thinning if you are not already on a thinner. Yeah,
And,
that's used for like people who have heart issues, heart conditions and stuff, and
and
who have had either a heart attack or a stroke. I can't remember which. I think it's a heart
yeah,
attack.
and I guess since
Um,
with my blood pressure, and then since I haven't been able to exercise, then concern of blood clot. So,
right. B. Davies said my granddaughter had ketamine infusions for pain.
how did that work? I
Yeah, that's
It does sound kind of crazy that they use that for bipolar, but you know, I don't think it's ever been. I don't know if it's ever truly been decided that hey, antipsychotics are really what people with bipolar need. I don't know. Um,
yeah.
I hate them.
Sandy said, and artery disease. And hello, Sandy. Yeah, I know they do. They recommend it with your heart. So, um, I
Yeah,
know that
my
they
kids have never tasted baby aspirin. I still remember
no.
how it tastes, but yeah, my kids have never had it. Well, my kids aren't kids anymore, but I always just gave them Tylenol and Advil.
Okay, it was a bust, didn't work, but she has CRPS, so terrible. Our old neighbor had before she moved, she had that, but she had the surgery to have the pain box put into her. Um,
Wow.
and then the battery was on her butt. And every time we go to check on her, she'd be sitting in her chair with this weird, like, strap thing around her hips. And she's like, I'm just charging my butt.
Oh my gosh. So
Okay, we just want to make sure you're okay.
I don't know what CRPS is. Excuse me.
It's okay. Let me pull it up because it's
Yeah, I'm Googling it right now. Um,
it's complex regional pain syndrome. It is a
Interesting.
form of chronic pain that usually affects an arm or a leg. CRPS typically develops after an injury, a surgery, a stroke, or a heart attack. The pain is out of proportion to the severity of the initial injury.
How come I've never heard of that before? That's awful.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I know I never heard of it until our neighbor, she had broke her ankle.
And then
And
it's never the same.
yep, and then that's how she ended up with the CRPS.
That's.
Um,
I'll
let's
keep my
see.
problems. Thanks.
Oops, my chat moved. Sorry. She has the spinal cord stimulator, but that isn't working. Yeah, she's had.
Mm.
Last we talked, I talked to her. She had the first surgery when she lived next door. Then she was going in for the second surgery because something happened in the cords. The cords that go up into the spine shifted, so they had to go in, and that's around the time that she was moving. They had to go in and readjust them, and she was awake during the surgery.
Wow.
They just numbed everything that needed to be numbed, and then she was telling me about it. I was like tripping out. It was so weird. And I think the last time I talked to her, she said she had to go in again, or she went in again because it shifted again. So and it affected her leg, and then she ended up, so because of it affecting her leg, and it was the opposite leg of the ankle that she broke.
Oh my heck.
Yeah, and then something happened. I don't remember what she did, but then she tore her rotator cuff, and so it affected the other arm. So it was, so they were like, you got to stop, you got to stop hurting yourself. So
Yeah, that's awful.
yeah, KK says 91 mg aspirin is what they want you to take. Is that
Aha.
is And that's the baby aspirin, right? I don't know what the milligrams are for baby aspirin. Um, Sandy says, I know that two of us take baby aspirins only because of artery disease and blood clots run in the family. Okay. And that's good to know. That's very
Hey,
good to know. Now,
that's one
I'm
thing.
curious. I'm curious that if maybe somebody in chat can answer it. Does baby aspirin affect, like, if you're on like mental health medications? Does baby aspirin affect that? I
I don't
wonder.
think so.
Or if
I
do they
think it just
change up
works
the
as
dose?
um I don't know exactly how aspirin, because Advil is anti-inflammatory, and I don't know exactly how aspirin works, what it does, but so
All
but
right.
oh, and I was brave enough to look at the scales when I was at the doctor.
And how did that go?
I've lost weight. I haven't lost as much as okay, Dwayne. This is what pisses me off about this man, okay? He can lose weight if he cares. I work and work and work at it, and it's like, woohoo, I'm down ounces. He gets COVID and drops 30 pounds. 30 pounds.
30
His pants.
pounds.
He has the
So he's what, the
saggiest
same weight as
ass.
Tommy?
You cannot even see his ass in his pants. And he had to go get another belt, and all of his pants are falling off.
Oh, wow. See, but guys lose weight so much
I
easier than
know. Doesn't
women.
that
Have
just
you seen
piss
those
you off?
commercials? Yeah, have you ever seen those commercials where they're comparing the guy and the girl and losing weight, and then, the guy loses it faster than the girl? It's usually a diet something for women,
Yes. Yeah.
and it's like, yeah, let's rub it in, make our anxieties
I
even
eat
more.
like
Thank
a
you.
fraction of the amount of food that Dwayne eats,
Yeah.
and how that's something I'd really, if I could get off the antipsychotics and lose weight, because I'd be so happy to drop 50,
Right.
and that's not that's still way more than what I used to weigh, but at my heaviest I weighed double what I had once weighed. I
You,
never
you know,
thought I'd be overweight ever. And then I had health issues and life happened.
And they always, every time I go and I talk to my doctor, or I talk to my doctor, I'm like, if you're gonna put me on something, can you make sure you put me on something that's not gonna make me blow up like a balloon? And like, oh, this one will be perfect for that. And I'm like, okay, and I start taking it and I blow up. I'm like, really, this is
Yep.
not how it's supposed to be.
Yep.
Um, so B. Davies said it affects her whole lower body. Started with her ankle, also from soccer. Wow. Yeah,
See,
and
reasons to never be ambitious.
I hear that tends to start, especially if you have an ankle injury of some
Sure.
sort. Um, B. Davies said that, or JC told B. Davy that his wife had that with no luck and was placed wrong. Yeah, see, it's
That's
supposed to help, but if it shifts, and she started struggling with depression because she couldn't do the things
oh
that she used to
sure.
be able to do.
Absolutely.
She was very independent. She was on the fire department. She did a whole lot of stuff before she ended up breaking her ankle, and then everything went to hell after that.
That's
Um,
awful.
and JC says it's removed now, thankfully. Yeah, that's good that she's not doesn't have that anymore. She's
I
doing
never
this.
did sports or dance or anything as a teenager. And everyone I know that did was big time into something as a teenager has screwed up joints, if not more now. And
I
I'm
was
like,
a
see,
cheerleader.
and then I'm like, see, it pays to not be ambitious.
I was a cheerleader. Um, Thank you, Sandy, for joining us. Have a good night. Um, let's see. Oops, where to go? Where to go? I got bumped again. Um, Sandy says baby aspirin's 82. Um, and
See,
then
just looking at my shirt, it's looking pretty big on me, isn't it?
yeah, it is.
I'm gonna have to
You've
get
worn
some
that
new
shirt
clothes.
before.
Yeah.
I was wondering if it was just me or if it
It,
was a little lower in
no,
the front.
no, and yeah, I bought this last fall and it fit along with, and the pants that I bought then keep drooping down and then I get saggy ass. I don't need any help in that department.
That's funny.
If people told you what happens by the time you're 50, no one would do it.
Right? Exactly. B. Davies says I have had two spinal cord stimulators. The first was removed, and I had the second battery pack taken out last January. But I decided to just leave the lead in my body. Ouch! I wouldn't want any lead in my body. No. That's what wife had. JC said. Had was the box at bottom of spine leads run up. Yeah, and I remember, the neighbor always telling me, "Yeah, I got to charge my butt. I'll be back." When she was after she had the first surgery, it was she did start moving a lot better, but then it didn't last because she did something and it just became a mess. But I always crack up when and I think about it even now to this day. I got to go charge my butt, and I'm like,
That's really
okay.
funny. That is really funny.
JC was a nightmare. Yeah, I bet. I mean, it's crazy. Sandy says, this was before she left. I'm trying to catch up with chat. Um, so I am a little behind, but we'll catch up. Sandy said no because I'm on an antidepressant. What baby aspirin? I almost said body aspirin. Holy cow! Baby aspirin does. It's like a blood thinner. Okay. And KK said yes, it will affect with certain medicines. Um, B. Davies says the spinal cord stimulator works amazingly for my wife, so for some it works. Yeah,
Oh,
and
that's
I
good.
mean, that's with anything, honestly.
Yeah.
You know, um, it works for some people, and then other people it doesn't work. Um, JC said, "Oh, that's good. I know a lot of people say it does."
Where's
Um,
Pat Dees? Where is he? I'm gonna message him. Find out where the heck he is.
yeah, I'm not sure where he is. Um, B. Davis says, I'm on, I don't know how to say that word, so I can't have aspirin or Advil, only Tylenol. And is that a antidepressant or some other type of medication? I don't know how to say it. Um, the one that he put in first. JC said wife's was placed wrong from start. Um, JC says I take an extended release nitroglycerin, and that is also a heart thing, right? I think that's what they
So
give.
yeah, I think so.
Um, JC said I meant stem, not stick. It's all good. It's all good. Lead, silly, not let. Oh, lead. My bad. It's a little blurry on my screen. I don't want to put my glasses on. Um, Perlini says, speaking of aspirin, I'm opening a new bottle of St. John's or St. Joseph's baby aspirin. I try to take one every day. Yeah, a friend of ours. We always make sure that, like, when we do see him on the weekends, because he comes up and works at the flea market, and he's got to take baby aspirin. We got to make sure that we have some here when he comes over and is hanging out, or when we go over there, make sure I always ask him, did you take your aspirin today? Because sometimes he forgets. So he was actually in the same hospital I was at the same time. We went in on the same day, had no idea either one of us was in the hospital. Both almost died at the hospital. And then we became his room, hospital room was right next to my hospital room. Like we were neighbors and had no
That's
idea.
crazy.
It is crazy. And then he was talking to somebody over the weekend, and I jokingly told him, I was like, I said, if we would have passed away at the same time at the same hospital, you know what kind of havoc we could have wrecked? And he just laughed. It was so funny. So, yeah. My wife has to recharge herself weekly, but mine was not rechargeable, just a new battery every 5 years. Oh, wow.
That's
Now, did
pretty
you
low
get yours
maintenance.
before she got hers, or did she get hers before you got yours? Because I'm wondering if one of them was a newer, updated version of the surgery. Um, okay, pronounce that
So
Zarail.
what's especially if you've got the Johnson & Johnson shot? What is that pertaining to? Are we talking
Um,
about blood pressure there or blood
oh,
thinners with that?
blood clots. Yeah, they pulled. Okay, so 5 women ended up with an extremely rare reaction to the Johnson & Johnson shot. They ended up with blood clots. One lady passed away. One was in critical condition, but they pulled it off the market and for a short time to readjust some stuff with it. Um, so that's what I read. And that's what we kept seeing on the news every time we turned around when we were out at places. So they just took it off the market long enough for them to correct whatever was going on and then go from there. Um, Hello, Mary, by the way. Um, she said aspirin. Okay, so the aspirin. Oh, okay. So maybe they're going to put aspirin in it. I don't know. I don't follow the shots very closely because it's just not something that I'm going to be doing myself personally. So I don't know much other than what I seen on the news every
I
five
can't do
minutes.
anything for 3 months, so I don't know what I'm doing yet. We'll see.
Your
My
body will probably build up an immunity to it because you
I
have it.
and
So
I guess it depends on how much they get it under control. Let's
yeah,
see. Oh,
there's like so many different strands.
I gotta check on my or talk with my sister, see how my brother-in-law's doing, because he's in his 60s, and he was fairly sick with or not feeling good for a few days with the first shot, and so she was concerned that he was going to be even more sick with the second shot.
Mm.
And but everybody's story is different,
Yeah.
because then I have a friend who has got both of the shots and doing fine. So, but
B. Davies said, so his wife's is 13 years old and his is within the last 10 years. So hers is on borrowed time. Yeah. So hers is what my neighbor had gotten. So there must be different variances of what your doctor prefers to give you for that stimulus or how however you say it, the stimuli machine, the butt machine.
and did you read what Cheryl wrote?
Yeah, I'm getting down there. Blood
Okay.
thinner. Um, JC said, it seems very, very odd to me to pull a vaccine for 7 bad reactions. I don't know, just a thought. I agree. And I'm sure there's like
There's
way
probably
more to
more
it than
to
what they're
it.
releasing. But,
Yeah.
Johnson & Johnson makes a lot of things. And so maybe they just want to be on the safe side. I don't know. But it is odd. But we don't know everything about it.
Yeah.
There's definitely more than they're not sharing. So,
I'm sure there is.
um, Cheryl said I had a rare reaction to, and I don't know how to say that one.
That's Pfizer.
Pfizer internal bleeding. I guess that's why they asked if you have a bleeding disorder. No one could tell me why. Wow.
They just knew they were supposed to ask the question, but they didn't know why, huh?
Wow. That's crazy.
We've got like the blind leading the blind right now in the world, you know?
Well, yeah, and they don't know the long term effects of it all.
Yeah.
So, and Mary said, we don't know the long term effects yet. Taking low grade aspirin might help. Yeah, very true. It very could. Not that we are doctors. We are not doctors. We're not counselors. We just are talking and giving some input.
What
What we
wondering
feel
what
doesn't
the
mean it's
hell?
not
Yeah.
medical advice.
Uh,
Let's see. Make sure that I didn't miss anybody. I'm trying to. Okay, so hers is St. Jude, and B. Davies' wife is St. Jude, and his is Medtronics.
Tronics.
Medtronics.
Huh.
Medtronics.
I wonder if he gets his prescription and she gets hers over the counter.
That's the stimulus box in their backs.
Oh, I thought we were talking about aspirin still.
Yeah, we're kind of going filtering in and out of all the
Let's see. Look. See, there's my so I have to tell you about this
zinc.
and this. So you know that Nat, our daughter, moved back home and brought her boyfriend with her. And his mom is so sweet and thoughtful. She lives, I don't know, not here. Anyway, she sent us supplements for us to help us get feeling better. And I thought that was so sweet and so thoughtful. When it comes to, I suck at being sweet and thoughtful. Totally. Cheryl can tell you, I am the world's worst gift giver too, man. Like if I come upon something that I think you'll like, well, yeah, I'm a sucky gift giver.
I'm
I
not.
don't know why.
I have issues with that too. B. Davies said taking zinc helps. People were hoarding zinc. Wow.
Okay.
And then B. Davies said too, Pfizer is now saying probably need a third shot in a year.
Yuck.
Um,
Dwayne's hanging in there. He has low energy. He was going to go to work today, but his boss told him there is nothing for him to do. He's getting another test in a couple of days because he's supposed to have knee surgery. And no, he is having a harder time emotionally with this than I am. He's kind of going crazy.
He
But
has to keep himself busy.
and yeah, because he's always got to be busy doing. I like to be busy doing stuff, but and our garage door broke, so we had they came did a what do you call it? When they come look at it.
Oh, an estimate.
Yeah, thank you. My brain's not working.
It's all right.
And it was over $800. And
Wow.
Dwayne's like, so what if I was to do this? And the guy said, that he could get a new one for it's not much over $100 to get a new garage door opener. And if he got like the same brand, so it's compatible, it would just be like a couple of bolts. I'm like, looks like you're gonna be changing the garage door opener,
right?
But because like $150 versus 850. Gee, I wonder which choice we should go with.
Right.
Considering that I don't even think we have $850 in savings anymore. This is this whole thing has cost us thousands. But okay, different subject. So I let my laptop update, and whenever your electronics update, they're worse off. And hang on, I got a cough.
Okay. Real quick, Mary says maybe just the tip of the iceberg. They are good at heading off lawsuits. Yeah, Johnson Johnson's pretty good with that. They want to
paid trillions into lawsuits.
Yeah, but they try to
start dying.
Yeah.
So what my laptop is doing, it keeps popping up on my screen. It says sign in so you don't miss out. What? And then it has, you need to sign back into your Microsoft account so you can send your parent requests when you want more screen time or need permission for certain apps and sites. And I'm like, what? What the hell does that mean?
Aren't you the parent?
The last time I checked, my children would debate that, but
I agree, Mary. That was a crazy markup.
Yeah, isn't that insane? And
that is crazy.
So it just keeps popping up on my screen.
So now you got to sign into everything to get it to work right, huh?
Stupid laptop. And I just did that. Dang it. Like you, the kiss of death when it comes to electronics. I wasn't meant to have to mess with them. So what was that?
Okay, so this is Heather, someone, us, and then she retyped it. I'm not sure.
I don't know.
Usually pretty good, but I get it. It's all good. Oh my! Mary says her fingers are broken.
I understand. Got fat finger syndrome.
Tommy was trying to message Dwayne back tonight, and he was typing, right, and then all of a sudden it changed a word on him, and he's like, "No, this is the word I wanted." So he changed it to the word he wanted, hit send, and then the stupid phone changed it back to what he didn't want.
Yeah, that's like the meme that's never once has someone text the word ducker.
So he's looking at his phone going, why did you ask me to change it to the right word and then you just changed it back?
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to figure out what my laptop's getting into when I'm not paying attention.
I got it. She said, Heather, someone is fishing for your information.
Aha. Because I just keep shrinking it down and closing it up. And I'm probably going to have to restart my laptop, huh?
You might. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Because
I
this
haven't
is a
used
new
my laptop
laptop and
forever.
it's having issues because anything I touch that's electronic, like you, it just goes to shit.
Yeah. So I
Yeah.
do have some exciting news real quick.
Awesome.
So I finally broke down and bought my medical alert bracelet. I'm happy and proud of myself. I've been
Yes.
dreading it for 2 years, almost 2 years, but I finally did it.
Cheryl needs a medical alert tattoo going down the whole inside of her.
Oh, that's a really good idea.
Like, I'll just keep adding every medication I'm allergic to, you know?
I'm looking at Mark going, can I get a medical alert with all my crap going on?
Yeah.
I don't think I have a big enough arm.
Just keep the info coming.
Yes, I am so excited, Mary. You have no idea. It actually, wait, what was it? Or what? Wait, what was it you bought? My medical alert bracelet. I'm supposed to wear one. I've been dreading, kind of procrastinating for almost 2 years. May it'll be 2 years. And I've been procrastinating, and I finally found one that I really like. And so I finally, it was a good, it wasn't expensive, but I got one, and um, it was said May 28th was when I should expect it. Well, it's already shipped out,
Awesome. Very good.
so I'm
Hopefully,
I'm
it's not the
excited about
slow
that.
boat from China.
Yeah, I'm sure it is from China. I didn't look exactly where it was
It's
coming
from
from,
China. It'll be here in 6 to 8 weeks.
right? But I at least bought one. It's on its way, and I'm excited about it. Um, Cheryl says my sister in law has one of those tattoos, medical alert tattoos.
Yeah, she's got a sister-in-law. She's the sweetest lady, has the weirdest health problems.
Yeah, kind of like me.
And
And
yeah,
then, so I was at the thrift store today, and I picked up this bracelet. Right, I mean, I liked it, and there's like two holes on it. No big deal. I just like the way the band was and stuff. And then it says open on it, right? So I opened it, and it said I had to take out the stickers that were in there, but said this patient has diabetes or is diabetic. This patient is diabetic. I'm like, I'm not diabetic. Crap, I gotta get it out of there. But I didn't realize because it doesn't have the medical alert symbol on it. So I just really like the band on it.
I
So
those kinds of bands, my arms are too hairy. I can't wear those. I have hairy arms.
I don't have hairy arms, thank heavens. Um, but
I do.
I'm surprised because I had this thing where for a long time I actually had to shave my arms because I did not like arm hair. I couldn't.
I've done
The
that, and then it's itchy when it grows back.
Yeah, but it was like it felt weird on my skin. So
Yeah.
I like always shaved it off because I was just like creeped out by it. And now I'm just like whatever. I got over it, but it took many years, and I'm
I
surprised that I don't have thick hairy arms.
My leg hair isn't as ferocious as it used to be. That's part of getting old. I guess a perk for getting old.
I
I've always
can't wait till I hit that stage cuz I'm tired of shaving every other day.
and yeah, it's not as bad. I've always been hairier than my sisters put together. Hey, Barbara, and
Hello,
um,
Barbara.
and my sisters are like, yeah, I don't even have to shave my armpits. I'm like, oh, shut the hell up. I'm the one who got hairy. I'm hairier than my brother.
Oh no. Hey Sharon, how you doing? Um, Heather is looking much better than last week. That's what
Thank
I'm
you.
saying.
I'm feeling better, and I'm hoping next week I'll be even better.
So when we were going to Appleton, there's this like little pizza, little hole in the wall type place, and it on the sign it said schooling is important, but pizza is importanter.
A
And Tommy
pizza
was like,
what?
that pizza is importanter. And I'm like, wait, importanter is not a word.
That's
And
awesome. That's
and Tommy's like,
hilarious.
that's the point.
Yeah.
Pizza's more important than school or learning or whatever it was. And I just was like, oh. And I'm like not like a grammar Nazi, but when it comes to my kids, if they don't talk appropriately, I always have to correct them. So to my kids, I probably am a grammar Nazi, but I don't want them walking into a job interview going, yo, what's important or here, stuff like that. I just, no,
Oh
you
my
need to
gosh.
use proper English.
Okay, this is so awful. And let me see if I can remember it because I don't have my phone by me. Because a friend, she and I were discussing words that people mispronounce that are not difficult to pronounce correctly, yet people do it incorrectly.
I do it.
And there's one word that people have said it incorrectly so much that Webster has put it in the dictionary. And I'm like, oh, you're killing me. It'll come to me which word. It's a very common thing. But no, that's something I laugh at Dwayne. He has a grammatical error that he does when he's talking. And he knows it's wrong, but he does it because I'll say me and instead of Heather and I. It'll be me and Heather. And I just look at him like, how do you do that? You know grammar. But
I think it's just habit with people. You get it. I mean, you know the proper way to do it, but then all of a sudden you're like just in the conversation, and then you're like, well, I and Tommy, or me and Tommy, and it's like, no, it's supposed to be Tommy and me, or Tommy and I. And yeah, I mean, it
yeah,
happens. It really does.
yeah,
February. She said February.
and
Is that the word?
that people get wrong. Yeah, people do get. My grandma said February wrong. That's it. That's exactly,
Actually,
that is the word. And they had Webster has put especially in it just to torture me. Now, if I do a great grammatical error, I've done it on purpose because it's funny. And if there's people who don't have enough personality to realize what I have said is funny, and it's like, oh, shut up. Just go away. Don't correct my grammar. I know it was wrong. Like if I say herbs, because it was a stand-up comedian, a British stand-up comedian, Eddie Izzard. A lot of people know who Eddie Izzard is. And so being British, he says herbs instead of herbs. So sometimes I'll say herbs. And then someone will want to correct me. And so then I'll say what he said, which is, it's herbs because there's a fucking H in front of it.
well, we watch a lot of cooking shows too, and I ended up getting Discovery Plus because they has a lot of cooking
Dwayne
stuff
needs
on there.
that. He loves his food porn.
Oh, let me tell you. But so we were watching this one episode, and so we say basil.
It is
It's
a
actually basil. That's how you're supposed to technically say it. I had no idea. And I'm like, wait, no, it's basil. And Tommy looks at me and goes, no, that's technically not
Now,
how
what
you say it.
cartoon is that? There's a cartoon, Disney, old this animated movie. Was it with mice and one of them is Basil?
Yeah, I think so. It's been so long. My kids are older now. We don't watch a whole lot of Disney.
But no, so this was way back before memes. This was in my mother's Reader's Digest. I remember seeing one time it said somebody, because they would do, the humorous things. I don't even know if the magazine's around anymore. But it said that they had been in England, and it said there's a sign in a shop window. It said, English spoken here, American understood.
That's awesome. Okay, so
Because
JC
nobody does
says,
English dumber than Americans.
yeah. When Wednesday the 11th 3rd of February. I know I said that way wrong. I was trying to read it how it was written out, and I totally killed that. um, so yeah, Perlini says love baking and cooking shows. It is one of many things that I personally enjoy watching. It helps me with my depression.
That's good.
And I tend to learn a lot from the cooking shows.
That's how
But
Dwayne learned to cook, was watching cooking shows.
Before we went live today, we were upstairs and we were watching Baking with Kids. And it's a competition, and I can't think of the technical name of the show, but it's got Duffy and
I've seen commercials for that.
oh, what is her name?
The lady with the really blonde hair that's spiky.
No. It's oh, what is her name?
It's not Rachel Ray.
No, it's not Rachel Ray.
Jadia, the teeny tiny Italian gal.
I know I'm gonna kick myself in the booty when I see this. Valerie Bertinelli.
Really? Huh.
Yes, and
cool.
it's called Kids Baking Competition.
How funny.
So we were upstairs watching that before I came down, and let me tell you, I give mad props to those kids. I think the youngest was 9 or 10. She was so adorable. She had red hair. And she was the shortest one out of all the kids. And let me tell you, that girl can cook. And there's another contestant on there that Tommy's voting for, or, rooting for. And they were using kitchen equipment that I had no idea what it was for. Like, they knew the terms, they knew everything. But
Elton
the one
Brown
kid,
is good.
right? But
about that stuff.
It's $25,000 for the winner, and there is an adorable boy on there. I'm trying to think of what his name is. I can't think of what his name is, but he learned how to cook off the internet. And he was taking that $25,000 if he wins it, and he's going to buy a food truck.
Awesome.
That's the one that Tommy is voting for. Like, he's rooting all the way for him. And Tommy's like, yeah, if we ever become millionaires, he's like, I'm going to hire him to cook on my yacht, and I will buy him his food truck.
That's great. I learned the basics of cooking because all good Mormon girls learned the basics of cooking. I don't cook. I have no passion or love or desire to cook. There's a reason I was a size 6 when Dwayne and I met, okay? Because Ian and I lived off of pod snacks. But Dwayne, you don't want to taste my mother-in-law's cooking. I can do it if my life depends upon it. My mother-in-law cannot. And so Dwayne, he said he wanted to marry a woman that was a good cook, but he married me instead. And so he and the kids watched thousands of hours of cooking shows on, Food Network. I think Food Network really contributed a lot to bringing cooking back. But
yeah.
Anyway, so like when Natalie, she took a foods class in high school, and the teacher told her that she knew more than any of the other kids about cooking. And so Natalie was pretty proud of that. And then Ian, my oldest, he likes to cook fancy foods and plate them fancy, and then post pictures on the family not website, the family text,
Right.
And so Jeremy has my level of cooking. We can boil water on a good day, but my other two kids cook. I think my daughter-in-law does a little bit. Chance doesn't cook, but anyway, I'm very happy that my kids gained that skill. My kids were in shock when they found out that I know the basics of sewing. I'm like, of course, learn the basics. I
I
can't
can
whip you up an outfit, but I can make you a Christmas stocking.
I can make curtains
Yeah, we talked about this
by hand.
briefly.
By hand, no sewing machine. Hello, Lady Luck Junk. Welcome, welcome. She said bone, apple, teeth.
I'm gonna remember that one. Maybe. Hopefully, I do. That's funny. Bone, apple, teeth. The
Mary
cooking
says they make me
shows,
hungry.
yes. So when Dwayne is out of town for work, and I tell him he's watching his porn because he's watching food shows, yep, and then he's starving watching the food shows, and there he is in a hotel room, and
Um, okay, I know.
yeah.
Oh, hold on one second. Let me catch up to where we were. Um, Pearl likes to watch Gina on YouTube. Gina. I think that's how you say it.
Dwayne watches a lady who does the pressure cooker stuff,
Mm.
and oh yeah, I do have to focus when I talk to Kelvin. That's a friend of hers, great guy.
This makes me think of a conversation with Kevin.
Kelvin, he's
Kelvin.
from the South, and yeah, and he has some expressions that are like, "What?"
Well, the one kid said that his food was so good, it was so slap your mama good or something. Now Jaslyn wants to use that term. I'm like, no, he's from the South, but it was funny.
Yeah, where's Kelvin from, Cheryl? She'll tell us. But that's pretty bad. Oh, sometimes because you know how I like to listen to a lot of books, and I've come upon some terms that I'll ask Chance, my daughter's, our future son-in-law, because he's lived in the South, and so I'll be like, "What the heck does this mean?" Because yeah, they got some weird ones. My grandpa had some funny sayings.
JC says, Valerie, my high school sweetheart. She is gorgeous.
Oh yeah. Hey, I still get teared up every time I think about that Eddie died, okay? I'm still struggling with this.
Yeah, I don't know. Their son is
Wolfgang.
a singer. Yeah, he is a singer in a band. I can't remember the name of the band.
Hot parents, he didn't turn out so hot himself. I thought that Eddie was totally
for
sexy.
what he is.
Yep, I thought that Eddie was way sexy. But there's nothing sexier than a guy who can sing and play the piano. I blame that on Steve Perry for myself personally.
From Journey?
Yeah, because I lived in the Bay Area. Journey's from the Bay Area. And when they were huge, you see, and yeah, it's Steve Perry's part. And Freddie Mercury. And the lead singer for Sully, is his first name. Is he the lead singer for?
I know who Journey is. That's about it.
Oh crap! Why can't I remember?
Who's Freddie Mercury from?
Oh, lead singer for Godsmack. He plays piano and sings. He's sexy. He doesn't make it.
I know. I've heard of him.
Solely something. He doesn't make it to the laminated list though, because he's under 6 feet tall. That's the rules. If a guy's, if somebody famous is going to go on my hall pass, he has to be over 6 feet tall.
Oh, okay. Lady Luck Junk says bone apple tea. And she says, "Sorry, that makes me laugh every time I say slash type it. Bon appetit."
That's
Yeah, that is
funny.
pretty
It's
funny.
really funny. What was the other one?
Uh, Cheryl says, "I never learned to cook." Um,
Cheryl's
Trying to
husband
catch
cooked.
up a little bit.
Hmm. How
Um,
come you never learned how to cook, Cheryl? Just because she's good at sewing. She can make quilts. Uh,
Lady Luck Junk says, "I enjoy cooking for a crowd. Then there is someone else to clean."
And you should see my kitchen. Oh my gosh. I don't think my family realized that I do the dishes 2 and 3 times a day because apparently everybody else is deficient in that department. And there's nothing like living with 4 adults that don't know how to do housework. I failed
Oh
greatly as
boy.
a mother. I own it. And so my kitchen is so disgusting. I need to just rip the whole thing apart and scrub it. And
Yeah, I don't like my kitchen, so we've made one outside now that it's getting nice out. However, this week
awesome.
we're getting snow flurries, but little snow here, a little snow there. We had a little hail mixed in with it earlier.
Yeah.
It really stinks, but we got it set up. So I bought myself a new grill, my flat top griddle, or my griddle grill, and I've wanted one for like 2 years now. Finally broke down and got one. Love it. And then Tommy and I have been talking off and on for the last couple weeks about getting a smoker to
Very
add to our
cool.
collection.
Yeah.
Found one that was a year old on Facebook Marketplace. $40. Went picked that thing up. It is
Sweet
in
deal.
nice shape. Yeah, the guy only used it a few times, but he was moving, so he didn't want to take it with him, so we put it up and we snatched it up, and so that's out there now. Tommy's old grill is going to be turned into a workstation, so we're going to take the top off. Cut it down so it's level and then put a piece of board over it so it's a cutting board slash prep table. And then I have my so we had this bar out back that was kind of wrapped around a tree to kind of hold it up. And then we just set all the food on that, good to go. But now it's by our cook station. I will get pictures. It's just got to be a little warmer out, so everything's off, and I can do like a little
Way
walk
cool.
around. So we had old tires from my truck, and he stacked them up, and then the top tire is a smaller tire with the rim. So we put my Weber that I bought last year for $10. Nice Weber, but he put that on top of the tire stack on the rim so that when people are standing up around the bar part, I can cook and talk with people at the same time. Um, and then, I mean, it's turning out really nice. Really excited, and I like cooking out there more than I like cooking in my house. I hate my
And
kitchen.
Dwayne's got about 50 old tires that are useless. I'll send some to you.
We have a ton
Telling him
of tires.
he needs to curbside. Don't get me going on complaining about that one.
Perlini said, "Book pillowcases and sheets make neat
Yeah,
curtains." Hmm.
yeah,
I can make quilts and repair clothing. Cool, Cheryl. Cool.
yeah.
Perlini said, "I always wanted to crochet lace curtains."
Oh,
Barbara
that's
said, "Old videos of Julia Childs.
I bet
Julia
they
Child are
are.
riot."
I bet that.
I'm gonna have to check that out because I haven't really. I know who she is. I know that
Wasn't
she's like a big
she
food person, but and
French?
there's a movie
Yeah,
about her. I
yeah.
just
That
haven't
was.
seen it. And I don't know
Isn't that
much.
Meryl Streep? Is
Yeah,
Meryl
I think
Streep
so.
played her? And
Yeah.
yeah, Meryl Streep's an
Uh,
amazing actress.
Barbecue and bottles on YouTube is awesome. JC, if you can get the link, can you
Oh,
drop the link to that one?
is that like
It's
the
a
chicken beer and the chicken thing?
Not sure.
That's what comes
But
to
if you can
mind.
drop the link to that channel, that would be awesome. I will check it out for sure. Um, uh,
Oh, I think
Savannah, Georgia. Uh, JC was like, okay, what was the question? LOL. Okay, Freddie Mercury was Queen. I know who Queen is. My dad loved Queen. I just didn't know that
now
that's
don't believe the movie though. The
such a
movie
tragic
is
story.
Bohemian Rhapsody. It's your generic um, band gets together, band falls
Did
apart.
they
Queen never fell apart.
did they
And
call him Eddie?
no,
Oh, see, I always thought his name was
Freddie.
Eddie.
No, Freddie. His,
Okay.
his birth name is, I don't know. It's big. He was born in it's an island off of Africa, but just say no.
Hashtag just say no to dishes. That's awesome, JC. My hubby says, and you wonder why I tried to help out with the dishes.
Oh my gosh,
um,
I have to make sure I do dishes before Cheryl comes over. Her husband will do my dishes. I'm like, sit down.
hey, Godfather, welcome, welcome. Good to see you. Kevin, hey, what's up? Good to see you. He's like, thumbs up. Hi, y'all. Working and listening. Awesome, awesome. It's good to see you. Let's see. Okay, so he did drop the link in chat for anybody who wants to check out the barbecue and bottles.
Maybe it's like
I
drinking a
know,
bottle of beer and barbecuing, you know?
oh, maybe. I know that when I grill or I'm cooking outside, I don't know if it's the mixture of being outside and having a space that I love to work in, but I know that that helps with my depression. And I get so much air and excitement when I'm outside. When I cook in my kitchen now, I get really depressed and irritated and frustrated, and like there's no counter space. Like I have no counter space in my
You have
kitchen.
a tiny
And
attempt
Tom
at a kitchen.
Yeah, and Tommy and I love to cook together. Like he is so awesome when it in the kitchen. When we work as a team in the kitchen, we do really good. But because we don't have much space or counters and stuff like that, it's almost like working in like a hallway, a little hallway. Um and it stinks. But when we're outside and we're cooking, um it's like a I'm trying to think of the words, but it like relieves my depression. Like not 100%, but it's enough to where I can go outside. If
It's
I know I'm going to
therapeutic
cook,
for you.
yeah, it's therapy for me. And I love that because not much helps my depression, but that helps. And I mean, I wish it would
That's
take it away
cool.
completely. That would be amazing. But I know to be realistic, it's enough to where I can go outside. I'm smiling. I'm breathing in the fresh air. Oh, and with the smoker, we got a brand new table. Well, brand new to us with an umbrella. The guy threw that in with the smoker. And so
Cool.
let me tell you, it was Tommy's early Father's Day gift, the smoker, and he's happy with it. So now we just and it's a charcoal one, or the
Do
chip
you do the
one.
wood chips?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can use wood chips or charcoal for it, and so it's I'm excited. I'm excited. I feel
Dwayne
like
and
a
I
little
do
kid.
not cook together. Dwayne makes me nervous when we're in the kitchen, and I annoy the crap out of him because I clean as I go, and he leaves things out, and it makes me all agitated. And so I will go into the kitchen and start putting crap away. No, if he and I like tried to cook together on a regular basis, we would end up divorced. It is that bad.
You know, I used to not like cooking because I was told I couldn't cook. And so for me, you know, Tommy's helped me a lot in the kitchen. He really has. And then watching the food shows, which is so relaxing for me. And I'm learning new terms, learning, like I have this marble grinder stone type thing where you take muddler or however you say it, and you put your spices in or whatever you're putting in there and you grind it. Okay. So I didn't know that the one that I specifically have in my house was on a cooking show that was used in um, a competition.
Awesome.
I have the exact same one. And I was just like, oh, I have that. I have that. Now I know exactly. I mean, I knew that you can do spices and stuff, but I didn't know all the cool stuff you can use with it. So I was
Have
like,
you ever
yeah.
have you ever watched Alton Brown's Good Eats? He did, it was back in the early 2000s, and he gives you all kinds of cooking hacks and kitchen tool hacks, and he gets into the science of everything, and it's real cool. I don't know if you can find reruns anymore on it or not.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
But
I'll have to check that out for sure. Um, hey, Cha Cha, how are you doing? Welcome, welcome. I hope I got your name right. I hope I got her name right. I haven't seen her in a while, so I hope I got that right. JC says tattoos, music, and online info on tech helps him with his depression.
my
That's
daughter gets
awesome.
tattoos.
Pearl says, I clean as I go too.
Yes,
And that's how I mean, that's what they do on the
have to do
shows.
the dishes first.
Yeah, they encourage you to clean as you go. And I took food from 5th grade all the way to my senior year. I worked with food. So I thought I'm an okay cook. And then when you hear repeatedly that you're not a good cook, you just kind of lose hope. You lose your little faith, that the little bit of faith that you had in your cooking. And then somebody like Tommy came into my life, and he's all like, no, this needs, your only issue is you don't have enough seasoning, because Joey had an issue with seasoning, spice and stuff, um, and the textures. So now you look at him, you'd never know. Um, and um, so I learned how to play with seasonings with my food. And then I overcooked pork, anything that was pork, because I don't eat it. So I just wanted to make sure that it was cooked
I
all the
did
way
that with a
through.
thermometer.
Yeah, and I didn't have one of those at the time. I didn't even really like think about it then. And then and then I've slowly just started experimenting, and now I love mixing my own spices. I
Oh
love
yeah, do
it.
you have your own taco seasoning or something like that?
Fajita seasoning, and I
Yeah,
also have my own Thanksgiving mix. I have a
cool.
couple other, yep, I have a couple other seasonings that I have mixed myself. And everybody who's tried them, like I've made food and put the seasoning on there. I'm like, here, try this. They've loved it. So Tommy's like, oh, you have your own
Awesome.
spice line now. And I'm like, "Yeah." And then this past week too, I went and I bought mason jars, and I switched all of my seasonings into mason jars, so that it just, for me, it's just cleaner. So I cut all the names and stuff out of vinyl, put them all on the jars, and there's one for the lid, the name of the spice on the lid. There's the name on the bottle so that we know which lid goes where. And then I was using it on the grill the other night, and our friend came over from the flea market, and he was like, oh, that's really neat, where'd you buy those? I said, I made them. He's like, oh, that's cool. you know and so I'm starting to like get out of the winter funk,
Good.
and so now, and it's helping with the new
Sorry.
kitchen setup outside. I have my spices, and I'm going to learn how to use curry powder.
Dwayne cooks with curry.
Is it a good seasoning? I've never had it before that I can think of or know of. Is
Uh,
it is it pretty easy to
um,
work with?
I like it. I like Thai food.
Okay.
So, yeah, there's a couple of dishes that he does, but yeah, Dwayne, he didn't make, well, actually, I think he wrote, the black labels, and you can write on chalk. So yeah, that's as far as he
Yeah.
got them. But he got all the jars and dumps his seasoning in there, and uh, so he will organize things, which is good. Our kitchen isn't the right configuration. It's the second kitchen that this house has had, which is way better than the first kitchen from houses that I've been to on the street, because the houses were all the same when they were built back in the 70s. And but it's still not perfect. There's not enough drawers, or there's drawers that are too big, and so then you can't find anything in them, or there's drawers that are too small. There's no right size drawers in the kitchen, and it drives me crazy.
Yeah. JC says, I got to head out all. The Shamrock Pixie, Heather, great show. Hope you guys can come by Thursday. Well, I'll let you know, JC. Um, and definitely, everybody, if you could please keep JC and his family in your prayers, that would be greatly appreciated. God knows what the prayer request is. But if you guys could please keep him and his family in your prayers, that would be greatly appreciated. Thank you. And then he said, Heather, hope you keep getting better. Hugs and hugs, Des. Hugs back, JC. Thank you
Yep,
for being here, my friend.
yeah, absolutely.
Much love, much love. All right, so
And
we have been on a little over an hour. How are you feeling?
I keep hiccuping. That's something that's been happening. That's weird. Uh, and coughing, but other than that, I'm hanging in there so far.
Okay. Just let me know if you need a break or anything. So we talked about a whole bunch of stuff. Cooking a lot.
Yeah, we have saved the world, man. Yeah, got a something else I was gonna tell you. Was it? I don't know if it was important or not. Must not have been that important.
It'll come back to you. It'll come
Yeah.
back to you. That's just how it goes. I like how we talked about the back stimulators for pain and stuff like that.
Ketamine and medication and
Yeah. Hey
getting
April, how
old
you
and
doing?
falling apart.
It's Bougie
And
Bear Vintage. Hey April, it is really good to see you. Haven't seen you in a while.
she has set up a booth, and I saw a picture. It looks like it's coming along. It's super cute. I think she did a little video of it. And
I'll have to go check that out.
yeah, yep. So
Did you do it
she,
there? Did you put that on Facebook or on YouTube?
probably on YouTube. She's like us. Winter really gets to her, and she's got to have her projects to keep her going. So, but yeah, she's been busy. That's good.
Oh, there it is. Oops.
Yeah. I've talked to Cheryl about it too. I don't know if I've mentioned it to you, and I've talked to April about it, but about doing jars, like intention jars, and I was collecting just I hang on to just little knick-knacky things. You've seen my craft room.
Mm-hmm.
It's disastrous. Dwayne's horrified whenever he comes in there, and but I got to dig through like my bedroom and the basement and find stuff, and then and Cheryl's got a bunch of old jars, and I want to make little like intention jars. Maybe I'll put some curses in some of them. Send them to people
There's
who need them. Yeah,
there's
there he is.
Charlie.
Hey, Pat.
Okay, sorry, go ahead. So old jars.
Yeah, so and I've seen that you can do little Wiccan jars, and you can do um Yule jars, and just for different things. And so I want to learn more about that, and put together. I don't know where I'm gonna put them. That's the thing. I just collect little random things. I don't know why. And I am alive. Dwayne's alive. Um, Dwayne hasn't been back to work yet. Our daughter's trying to get back to work, but they're being idiots. Dwayne is feeling just good enough to be really, really grumpy, and because he can't do more.
Yeah,
And all
I,
right,
I
Pat's talking
understand
from
that. That's how Tommy is
bed.
too, though.
I'm sitting in bed too, Pat. Just letting you know.
I'm sitting in my seat.
Well, I've been laying down listening to an audiobook. I'm trying to listen to Anne Rice. I watched the Discovery of Witches shows, first and second season. I watched those while I was
Okay.
sick, and I want to listen to the stories. And so Anne Rice has some witch stories that 50 hours. Okay, shit you not. 50 hours. I am 5 hours in, and nothing has happened. I don't think I'm gonna make it.
On Anne Rice's.
Yeah.
Which one
And
are you read or listening to?
let's see. And then I want to get the Discovery of the Witch trilogy. Um, the Witching Hour, 50 hours, 2 minutes, 39 seconds. And then the second one in the trilogy is 28 minutes, and the third one is 22 minutes. But like I said, I don't know. I don't see that I'm going to make it through all of it. But when Dwayne can get a hold of the audio uh, Discovery of Witches and whatever that trilogy is called, because he'll go into the library, and get the audiobooks. So,
Looks like Cheryl's in bed, Pat D's in bed, you're in bed. How's my butter? I am doing all right. Um, I set up my outdoor kitchen this past weekend, switched over my spices. Been pretty busy this week, which is good because I needed it. Um, Other than that, I think everything's all right.
I like
I'll
your
let you
cool.
know next week. Got another interesting week coming up, so we'll talk about that next week.
That sounds. I haven't had interesting for. I couldn't even tell you the last time something interesting happened.
Every day is an interesting day for me.
I see, and I'm not in that. I guess the kids got older. Um, Dwayne does his thing. I do mine. Nothing interesting happens. I had such a dysfunctional childhood, that bills getting paid and having somewhere to live and not worrying about rent. The landlord giving us the boot. Life just becomes very boring when needs are met. I'm getting my teeth cleaned. How functional is that? I had them cleaned 6 months ago and 6 months before that. And it's been that way my whole adult life. As a child, went to the dentist twice. I guess I'll just go through
April
it.
says you got to get out more, Heather. Create some chaos.
My chaos gets me in too much trouble, so it's best that I'm boring.
uh, okay. So Charlie, aka Pat D's, says, "Okay, watching Sopranos. I'm falling asleep. Bye. Have a good night. Thank you for stopping, Charlie, aka Pat.
Good to hear from you.
Yeah, it's good to see you for sure." Barbara says next week is her daughter's
Well,
birthday.
happy
Well,
birthday.
That's what I'm going to say.
Yep, happy birthday to your daughter.
For sure, for
Uh,
sure.
How old is she gonna be?
Probably 20 because Barbara's probably like 30 now, maybe.
That's what my son, he said something about me turning 39, and I'm like, you're so at the time he was 27 because he's turned 28 since then. I'm like, you're 27, that's kind of creepy.
Barbara said 45.
45, all downhill from there. But
Everybody's wishing her happy birthday. That's awesome. You know, my mom, every year, she gets funnier and funnier on my Facebook when she wishes me a happy birthday because she's getting younger and younger, which makes me younger and younger every year.
man, like I always say, people who say that age is
Hey,
just a number, I'm like, you're freaking lucky. I wish it was for me. So
April's
she
like, so
was,
she was 10, Destiny, when she gave birth. Yup, that's what my mom tells me all the time. I was only 10 when I had you. I'm like, Mom, you need to add almost 9 years to that. She was one, no, March 13th is her birthday. I was born February 20th. I was actually almost 3 months early. So she would have been 19 if I would have decided to stay in the incubator for a little bit longer, but I was too eager to be in the world. And then, yeah, all hell broke loose. Just saying.
man. My mother was in her mid 30s when she had me. I'm the youngest. So that's why I have a older mother. Oh my gosh, I don't know if I'm even going to say it. This is horrible. And I'm just going to say this. When my stepfather's dying, he better not show up at my door. My mom, her cat that I gave her was 14, fine. Gary killed him. Put him down. My mother's not even dead yet, and he killed her cat.
Oh, dang.
That tells you how people treat animals, tells you what kind of person they are.
Yeah. Wow.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and I would have taken the cat back had he asked. Thing is, he paid like $100 to have him put the cat down. I got no words. Like I said, he better not be showing up at my door. I'm not taking care of his dying ass.
Wow, that's really sad.
Mm-hmm. Yep, my sister got it out of him, and I have, like I said, I have no words. And I want to go see my mother when I get better, but he better not be there. Because he and I have yelled at each other. We've gone some rounds, and
Definitely be going rounds with that. That's for sure.
yep, I am just so disgusted and upset. And then I'm thinking, I wonder if he's throwing my mom's stuff out because she has something of mine that I want back. I have a ruby that she has. I was and I gave it to her for safekeeping because I had 3 young children that were mad terrors, and I had a loose ruby and a little, thing.
That's probably pawned off.
Yeah, I want my dang ruby back. My mother was a wonderful artist. He never appreciated her talent, so he's probably throwing her artwork away.
Oh, wow.
I don't know. I'm just so sickened. And all the furniture was hers, and there were a couple of things that I wanted. Not yet. She's not dead yet.
Right.
She has an antique secretary, and I have no idea where I'd put it. But Suzanne's in Southern California, where to rent a bedroom is $1,000 a month.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's insane.
Wow.
Yeah. And then, my other sister's in Southern Utah, and so she's telling my sister in Southern California, come to Utah. It's not quite as expensive.
Speaking of Utah, I started watching the program Sister Wives.
Oh, yeah. Stupid show. So
That's what
dumb.
Tommy says too. Tommy's so mad at the show. I'm like, it's doing its job.
Yeah.
Um, April says, offer to go clean up or something and get your stuff
Oh,
and run
yeah.
with it.
We've he's probably never going to let us in the house again. We had to, locked up like Fort Knox, barely get in there. Why
That's
this is taking over my laptop, this stupid thing telling me to log into my parental controls.
all
But
right. So I think we actually are gonna go. But thank you everybody for being here. Greatly appreciate you all for sure. Um, anything going on this week for you, Heather?
trying to feel better, not be so grumpy. Not kill Dwayne as he's being grumpy. Sterilize my house. I need a big old dumpster parked out front. I just throw everything away. Yeah, I think working. Oh, that was okay. So I had a. It's always so dumb. Not for me. Okay, so you go to the doctor, and they have you check off this thing, giving them a mental health update, and I will just. Sometimes I'll just draw a line through it, but I'm freaking bipolar. I can run through all this in an hour. But it was asking me questions about are you low on energy? Have you been, your sleep messed up? And I'm like checking it out. It looks like I am suicidal. And I'm like, no, just got the COVID and I'm grumpy.
Oh boy.
So that's what I'm working on feeling
Sounds
better,
good.
not being so grumpy.
Sounds good. So I just dropped a link to Paul Antonelli's YouTube channel. We do it's Paul, me, Susanna, and Julie. We do the Brunch Bunch, reseller rants, raves, and reviews Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. As long as everything goes good, then I'll be there Wednesday. But we do that about it's 10 a.m. Central Time, 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Almost had to think about that for a minute.
What time is
So you
that
guys can
here? What is
check
it?
that
What
out.
mountain then?
That would be 9 your time.
I'm not awake that early.
Usually I'm not awake that early either, but it's keeping me on track going on and hanging out with them and stuff like
Awesome.
that. So
Good.
I am involved in that this week, and then we'll be back next Monday, 8 p.m. Central Time. Um, and I'm just kind of waiting to see what happens during the week before I schedule out for the Mondays in case I have to not be able to schedule it. But as of right now, we'll see you again next Monday. Much love, everybody. And remember, you are worth it, you are loved, and you are not alone. With that, we bid you farewell. Have a beautiful rest of your week. And if you need me, my email address is down below in the description. And we will, hold on one second. Let me take that off. And we will see you next time. Bye, everybody.